I'm Kyle Price, the chair of the North End Neighborhood Council, and with me today I have Michael Sullivan, who's a public historian, an expert on architecture and historic preservation, and he's here to talk to us about the Old Town waterfront, which is here, of course, in the beautiful North End. Thousands of people drive by this waterfront every day, but not that many people stop to think about some of the history that has come before what you see here now. And so Michael Sullivan is going to help us take a little peek at that so we can start thinking about what helped make Tacoma the great place that it is today. Here we are on the beautiful North End. Michael Sullivan, public historian, thank you so much for joining us here at the, we're on an old dock in town, of course, but at the top of the ocean. We're at the site of the top of the ocean right here, which is just another historical tidbit here down in Old Town. But it's called Old Town, and maybe we should start by just talking about why this is Old Town.
This was called Shubalup by the Puyallup people that were here for 10,000 years before Job Carr, who was a Civil War veteran, a wounded veteran of the Civil War, left really while the war was still going on and came to Puget Sound looking for a new start and ended up probably hitting it right when the salmon were running and feeling like this was pretty much the perfect place. He said, "Eureka," and said, "This is it." And so he settled here.
If people are driving or walking or just coming to visit Tacoma, what are some of the things that they would see along here that are things that actually reference the history of Tacoma maybe before 1900?
The first really big steam-driven sawmill, the Hanson-Ackerson mill, got built just about where the fish store is right there, and it filled that whole corner. And pretty soon this whole shoreline that we think of as Ruston Way today filled in with large and small sawmills with boat building operations. And because most of the wood was carried out of here by sailing ships, the orientation to the wind and weather was perfect along Ruston Way. But our shoreline was very much shaped by those sawmills and those little boat yards, Croatian boat yards. When they built all the small, modest houses for all the mill workers and all the people that worked on the waterfront, the Croatians and everybody, and they all oriented away from the view. So today you look at Old Town and all these houses seem to be looking away from the waterfront. Well, it's because there wasn't any view, during most of the time that those people lived and worked on the waterfront.
That's interesting.
It's one of the characteristic things about the little bowl that is Old Town today. You kind of get a feel for that once kind of small village that's a little bit apart from the rest of the city.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
See ya.
All right. Well, that's a wrap for this episode of Neighborhood Moment. I'm Kyle Price from the North End. Thank you for joining both me and public historian Michael Sullivan for some of the history of the area. We will see you next time. Please make sure you like us or post some of your comments about your favorite things in Tacoma. And we'll see you next time and around the neighborhood.